Hey, Ryan, make sure we get a picture after.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hams. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the trick of the lips. Play ball.
Can you turn the volume up, Ryan? It's really muffled.
Play ball.
That's good.
Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall. Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laugh to Save Lives.
Live.
Here at Strong Island Studio Paradise. Strong Island TV Paradise Studio. In beautiful, it only took me 10 seconds to screw up. In beautiful Massapequa, New York, right by the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually showered tonight for the show and shaved.
Oh, wow.
Very unusual, and I'm not wearing shorts. Not wearing shorts, no. Full pants.
He's not
full
wearing
pants.
underwear either.
Not wearing pants.
That's our landmark, the Long Island Railroad.
Long Island Railroad, Massapequa Station. Beautiful Long Island.
Beautiful, yeah. It cost a fortune to renovate that thing.
So we were on hiatus last week.
Hyenas?
Hiatus. We didn't do a show. I was out of town, and these chooches didn't prepare anything. What did you? Every week, what do you show?
I prepare the show.
Every week.
I always have material to talk about.
Yeah.
I prepare shows all the time. You
Yeah.
say, what are they going to bring to the table?
They
What
got,
are they going to bring
look
to the
at
table?
tonight's guest.
I prepared
Home run.
I prepared a chicken pot pie and laid on my couch.
Yeah. Said, Steve, what did you prepare? He goes, I'm on the couch
A
again.
chicken pot pie, 4 minutes, 45 seconds.
I'm a genius. I can talk
Dinner.
about any subject at any time.
You can put somebody to sleep with any subject
any
you discuss.
subject.
Any
I am a
subject.
fountain of useless information.
And if you don't know, John is a Met fan. So
This is truth.
we're gonna talk about our week a little bit, mostly my week, and then if there's any time left,
Well, we have to talk about the week before last week.
we can talk a little bit about the week before. We only have so much time to speak about our
No, well,
weeks.
we all went to the Met game.
Was that before, after the show, the last
Correct.
show?
Yeah, May 1st. That was the day after our last
Really?
show. Yeah, yeah. I would lie to you.
It was a yucky
Boy, he really
night.
did prepare.
It was a miserable. No, I think we talked. It was.
No,
a
we couldn't have because
miserable
we
night.
were off last week. We went
It
the week
was a miserable night. to go
Horrible
to that
night,
game.
total disaster.
Total
The weather was
disaster.
horrific.
It was
Horrific.
right?
Horrific. It was
It was a
horrific.
good night. We had fun.
Well, we
We
were
had
together.
fun.
We were together. Oh wait,
Right.
I should have freaking brought. This is the kind of guy he is right here, right? This is the kind of guy.
That's why
John
he,
Santos-
first of all, that's why he wanted to talk about the Met game, because he wants everybody to know what you're going to
No,
say.
what? That I was,
What you
going to
gonna-
talk about the
no,
pizza.
what you gonna say now?
$17
Go ahead.
for pizza.
I walked into the Met
It's
game
this
like
big.
a little kid. Like a little kid. I love going to the Met game. We took a picture, which we never got in that big glove.
The Nikon.
Yeah, the big
Nikon,
glove.
you always a picture.
Yo, it's the picture.
You always a picture.
So then we go into the hat. Steve,
Oh, I totally forgot about the hat.
we go into the hat booth, and I never buy anything at the Met game because I'm too freaking cheap. Everything's expensive. I never bought my son anything at a Met game his whole life, right?
Neither did my father.
Oh, that reminds,
No?
I never forgot
So-
it.
that, that reminds me.
Yes.
At least you took your kid to a Met game.
I should what?
At least you took him to the Met game.
Yes. Well, why, Steve?
Why?
I think there's
Why
some
do you
issues
say
there.
that? What makes you say that, Steve?
My father never took me to a Met game.
What did he take you to?
He took me to the railroad. He got on.
Took him to
left.
the racetrack.
You just stepped on a beautiful picture.
I'm sorry.
He said he took me to the railroad. He got on. I got on, and
sorry.
he left. That was a nice.
When
nice
Steve
way
is talking, all the other mics should cut
about
off.
his misery that you.
It wasn't misery. Listen, Phony Soprano can't help himself, all right? He can't. He's got to step on punchlines.
I didn't know you were going to come out with something funny.
Well,
He
then
does
just
every
be
once in a
quiet.
while.
Put your hand net on and be quiet, you lunch lady.
All right. So can I finish?
Let him
Lunch-
finish.
Lunch lady. That's another lovely boom. Steve has gems. You have to just sit and listen
Front
to the gems.
page of the Glen Cove Times. He's got a hairnet on.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful picture, by the way.
That's because the Board of Health just walked in, so I had to put it on.
Beautiful picture, by.
Huh?
Beautiful picture in the Glen Cove. It was
Very
a nice
nice.
article about you. Can I finish my friggin' story?
Look like a
I didn't say
Chicano.
nothing.
You look like a Chicano gang member.
Let him finish his story. This is what
I'm
the show.
sorry.
This is why we run out of time every week.
That's okay, as long as we're having gems out
Go ahead.
here.
Let's hear it. I apologize.
All right, so I see this hat, and it says home run. See, as John knows, I don't go to. I can't wear this stuff. I feel too nerdy.
This
He
is the
pulls it up.
official
Right,
uniform.
I can't wear a
official
Met hat and the
official
Met pants and
sweatshirt.
everything. So I see this hat. Home run, it says on it with the apple, right? The center field apple.
cool.
And on the back, it has the distance to center field.
408.
Cool hat.
Wow.
I go, that's my kind of hat. I want that hat. I look at the price, $40. Now I'm always thinking of the family. I can't spend that much money. I'm agonizing over it. So I'm walking around and I tell him, he was with me and he goes, you should buy it. I go, I love that hat. I'm telling him I love that hat. So I go, you know what? I call my wife. I go,
Were you buying it for yourself or your son?
No, for myself.
Okay.
That's right. So that's the way I felt.
Right.
So I call my wife. She goes, you treat yourself. But you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I walk all the way back to the stadium because I'm getting my steps. But I walk all the way back around the stadium the long way.
Mm-hmm.
I come up. Who's standing outside the Met shop?
Bob Apodaca.
No. John Santa purchased the Met hat for me.
Oh.
Is that
Wow.
And I got to him in time.
That's a nice gesture.
right before
now
I
you
got?
know
Because
why
every
he
little
wants to
boy
talk about
deserves
the
a hat
Met
at the
game.
Met
It's very
game.
thoughtful. Now, where is this apparel made, might I ask?
It's made in
China.
Is it?
No, well, the official hats are made in the United States. I don't know where the fashion hats are made.
All right.
Same company, New Era Cap Company. We got to get New Era Cap Company as a sponsor.
Yes. We have LifeVac as a sponsor. We don't need anybody else.
That's the most
We have
important
MCN.
sponsor.
We have some MCN too.
Yes, but LifeVac is here tonight. So
And they're all
just go
about
with
breathing.
this.
You notice that?
Go with what I'm saying.
LifeVac starts you.
God is here tonight, so we plug LifeVac up to what
Oh, okay.
And LifeVac
Right?
stops you from choking, and MCM
Yes.
duct cleaning helps you breathe better.
That's right.
It's all about the
It's all
airway.
about- It's all about life.
It's very
Left
environmentally
to say
conscious.
sorry.
Give those people air. Sorry, that was Total Recall reference. Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
You know, I love the Schwarzenegger.
If you have to
Well,
tell
folks, welcome to the John Santos show tonight.
if you have to tell us what guys you're doing,
Then they're not.
They're
Then,
not
then they're terrible
We knew it was
impressions.
Schwarzenegger.
They're horrible.
you don't have to say Schwarzenegger. We knew.
That was
It was
Schwarzenegger.
good. So let me talk about this week. I taught customs and border protection in Savannah.
What customs did you teach?
Customs and border protection, Savannah,
Like taking
Georgia.
off your shoes before you go into a house?
Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, customs.
Shut up. Don't say it about the phone. I'm shutting it up. I shared my knowledge with people who are protecting our borders and our customs. Beautiful people, work hard. It was a wonderful class. They want a comedy show.
Where
They want us
was
to come
this?
back. Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia?
Yes, Savannah, Georgia.
Is that a border state?
Customs. my
Custom.
friend.
Oh, not border
Custom.
protection.
No, JFK Airport. Right? I told
Oh
you.
yeah, no,
yeah.
they don't ask you to fill out a customs form when I came back from the cruise. They just said
You said you met stuff on.
that's right.
They said, let's get rid of this guy as quick as we can. He looks strange.
was
Did
in
you
Brooklyn.
know this?
What?
Did you know this?
Savannah's responsible for very overrated fruit, by the way, the peach.
Oh, they have the
Georgia.
space, the launch complex down there.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, here's what was it was a great class, great people. But here's something I learned. One of the young ladies that was in the class, I just started, and you didn't say anything. Usually you say.
I'm staying quiet, so I don't.
Yeah,
say
you
gotta
anybody
stay
in
quiet.
line, and
That's
I'm
what's
staying
scaring
quiet.
me.
I'm
That
staying
is what's
quiet.
scaring me. Every mistake I make, you know who he picks it. You got something to say on this? Somebody saying something?
No,
Interesting?
yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of demand for Jules and Danielle because they ask what time do they go
Well,
on.
they're
What's
the
a
guest-
lot of
Must be
demand?
stuck
they're
on
the
the
guest
Weather
tonight.
Channel.
What's a lot of them? Don't get too excited, ladies.
Christine Eberly
should be there.
and
Four people.
Carol McBride.
Four people.
They'll be on soon.
They'll be on soon. Give us a chance. It's our show. Give us a chance to
We
do
like
our
them
thing.
already. They bring an audience.
We love them. They're going to be on.
They already have an audience.
And you know what? I think Danielle's sending those messages under another name. I really do.
No, she hasn't
She
touched
is-
the phone. Oh no, she
Yeah,
does have
she's
a phone.
quick.
I'll describe
We're
them.
not supposed to talk
I'm
on
going to
camera,
describe
but they
them.
are in the studio. They
in
are
the
coming
studio.
It's
on.
going to be a surprise. I'll describe them. One has very short hair,
Right?
and one has very long hair.
Yes.
They're both terrific, and they're both going to be on.
Okay, so Friday night we did Laughter Saves Lives did two shows. One in
California.
for Kent Animal Rescue at Riverhead.
Oh, you did that show?
Frank
Cool.
Fiala ran the show for Laughter Saves Lives. We had on Ellen Karras, Joe Curry, Jamie Gravy, and Frank. The show went off well.
Oh,
It was a
lineup.
wonderful big
And they
night.
have dogs in the audience, so it's a rough crowd.
They have oh boy, they had dogs in the audience. But then we did a show, and I'm very proud of it, boys. I have to tell you, we did a show in Piccadilly as
Picatinny Arsenal.
as Patty said.
I said it was
He thought-
Piccadilly.
he
I thought
it
you
was a
said
strip
Piccadilly.
joint.
I thought we were going to a strip
Yeah,
joint.
he says Piccadilly. No, it's
No,
Piccadilly.
Piccadilly.
Patty.
And then all the people in the crowd were calling it Piccadilly afterwards.
No,
so it's,
they
you know,
were. They were.
You sicko, I love
he
it.
was a sicko. But here's the deal. our headliner, the beloved.
That's actually what you do when you milk
Who was
a
the
cow.
headliner?
The beloved.
That's what you do when you milk a cow, by the way.
You got Jeff Norris?
Twice.
Of course, he's friends of Laughter Saves Lives. He'll do anything for us.
That's
The man is
great. No, but
wonderful.
he's very busy. That's
He's
great that you have him.
wonderful. He got bronchitis.
Oh, no.
Yes.
The great Jeff Norris.
Yes. And the good news is we got a super headliner to fill in. Who was that headliner, Pat?
Who could
Johnny LaRocchia.
Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
And we had Pascual Perez feature.
So we
You
hired.
remember the story of Pascual Perez
don't.
when he was
What?
circling the stadium, he couldn't find his way in?
Yeah, you're gonna catch
Steve
her.
was lost for about an hour.
The show was
He
supposed to start
drove the
at
wrong way.
You're gonna catch her a big.
It's
You're
a
gonna,
military installation.
you're
You
gonna
gotta know what
capture-
entrance.
7. No, he wasn't.
I was
either.
there with you one time.
Piccadilly Arsenal. But I said to myself, you know what? It's a small audience. It's a tight budget. We can do this.
How big was
He
the
missed
audience?
the exit.
We had about
missed
what,
a lot of
60,
exits.
Patty? 60?
That's
I-
good.
About 60, 70 people. It was
60,
nice,
70
Yeah,
people.
it was a nice audience.
Any active duty like we had when I did the show there that time?
There was some either active or retired. Those guys don't raise their hand when you ask them.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, the
firemen.
active
Any
duty.
firemen
yeah.
in the audience, they're raising
Right.
their hand. They got an accent.
Well, they could be, you know.
They were a nice crowd. They
classified
were saying,
jobs.
thank God you don't have that guy Santo here this year.
Yeah, they did mention
They were
it.
so happy.
They did
so.
mention it. The show was great. We had a ball, and we filled the time. The three of us, Laughter Saves Lives, filled the time, quality time, where the people left, and they said, you know what? That was a good show.
Yeah.
They had a good
Wow.
time.
We had a good time.
And
Steve walked right in on time. John was going to be nice and let him get a breath, and he was
No,
going to let
what a-
Steve headline. But
Right.
he ended up, Steve said, no, I'm going to do it. I'm featuring. He did it. And that was
Steve
it.
headlined the show for us
Who,
a few
who
weeks ago.
hosted
John
the show?
did 50
They,
minutes.
by the way, they love you, John.
Who hosted the
They
show?
loved you.
Well, isn't that nice of you
There
to
was a
say?
woman that
He
came
did,
up to
he
you and
did.
said, "You were the best one. I loved you."
Yeah.
Hosted
She did. She
Yeah,
did.
that was nice.
It was your
That was
wife,
nice.
but
The show.
No, he did a great job.
no, they loved him.
50 minutes for
They
LaRocque.
freaking loved him.
Who hosted the show?
Pat.
Hey.
Okay.
Pat. And it was a great show. Piccadilly Arsenal. We love doing the military
And you did
bases.
50 minutes?
I did 50.
And you killed, right?
Steve
did.
did
He
it.
killed? Wait,
Steve-
wait, no, you don't.
He did
he
kill.
kill?
Steve
He
did
did.
a half
He did.
hour. He killed.
Steve
He
did
did
half
kill.
hour.
Steve did a half hour.
This
Did
is
kill.
John calling me up right before he's got to do a show where he's got to do over 45 minutes. I don't know, I haven't been on stage in a while.
say that, yeah.
A little rusty, and then he kills.
say it all the time.
He
You say it all the
destroys.
time.
I say it
I
all
always
the
tell
time.
him, John, relax. You're John
But you know what?
You're a
What's
great
fun-
headliner. You're going to kill.
You know what's
then he
fun?
kills.
You know what's fun about
Then
doing
he calls
that?
me up and goes, I killed. Yeah,
No, I don't say I
did 5
killed.
hours. I killed.
I say I did. I filled the time.
All right, no, you don't say you killed, but you
right.
said you did a lot of time.
I was
and the,
trying
and
to
the
give
response was
Steve a little
strong.
props. He did a nice job. Half
And
hour.
Pat
He
did a nice job. Pat
nice-
did 22 minutes.
Yes.
I'm working on a
22 minutes.
LaRocchia impression. It's not ready yet for prime time.
No, he's got the LaRocchia.
I thought I had to do a half hour because Steve wasn't going to come there, but I got 20.
Did you do it, the thing in the beginning?
LaRocchia impression.
Do it.
Do the LaRocchia.
What the same slice? He did that. He came on here. What kind of show is this? It's a comedy show. I think I sound a little bit more like Giovanni. We should make
sound
little
like a
John
song.
LaRocchia dolls that you pull it. What kind of show is this? We could sell them.
He did do it and be fun of the show. He did
We'll make
do
a
it.
fortune.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
You get it,
I
you get it with the
actually-
Johnny plug. It's a
So
set.
anyway, I don't want to do on that.
John,
Good show.
I went through Newark to get there,
You
which
did.
is
You
went through
nowhere near
Newark?
there.
Yeah.
I ended up in
Newark?
Newark. I got so lost.
Did you have a gun?
I went through Newark.
Newark's rough.
I left without my wallet and pants, but damn it, I made the show on time.
I think I
did,
know what
man,
you
sure.
did. You were on the phone and you took 95 instead of 80.
Yeah, he was on the phone
was on
because I
95.
kept calling him.
And then I realized I didn't believe, I don't know, whatever. I got there. It was a great
You
time.
got there, great.
What else? What do you got?
Well, we got one quick just Tim
What?
Conway passed away.
Yeah, oh my
Bean
God.
Comics, to me, one of the funniest guys of that generation.
The-
I love
I
Silly.
loved him.
You know, I'm silly. I'm not deep on stage. My material is not deep at all. Not as well written as Steve's. I like Silly. Tim Conway was
silly.
funny,
Yeah,
silly.
yeah, he was great.
And he always
Um,
cracked Harvey Korman up. Harvey
Oh, he
Korman
was
would be
hysterical.
trying not to laugh.
He was
I love
hysterical.
that show.
The dentist scene.
The dentist, oh my God,
Yeah,
I can't. It's amazing.
And,
Um,
I used to.
Doris Day, yeah.
You
I'm man enough to say that, by the way.
She was great,
Doris
Doris
Day.
Day.
She was
She
man
was.
enough.
I want to bring the ladies
married to
on
Rock
as soon
Hudson.
as possible. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on
Wasn't
with
married
this
to him?
sex strike with what's her name.
Alyssa Milano.
I honestly don't know much about it. Now, what?
Pat's been on strike since 1987.
Yes. Before the strike, I could call Alyssa Milano, and she would, if I said, can I have sex with you? She
No,
would.
no, it's not her.
Now
She's
she's on
calling
strike?
on all women.
Oh, I thought it was just Alyssa
No,
Milano saying
it's
I'm not
big.
having sex with anybody.
So I have to leave
All right.
tomorrow morning. I'm going down to Washington to
Good.
negotiate with the
Good.
women. Because this strike, let me tell you something, the longer this
Let me
strike
tell you, if
goes
you
on,
go down there, they're gonna be happy to strike.
Yeah.
the longer the strike goes on, the harder and harder things are going to get.
Holy
So it's very important that this strike ends, and I think both sides can come to an agreement. So I'm very optimistic.
You might change all the women to lesbians after you go down
No, I'm going to negotiate. in good
President,
faith.
these
Well, thank
women,
you for
President,
sharing
these
that.
women that are they 10s or 2s?
Well, we don't know. I'll know when I get down there. But we can't sue the women because they're not covered under penal law. So we have to negotiate our way out of this
I actually got a-
terrible, terrible work stoppage.
I actually got a message today to say, did you read John Santos' posts on the Alyssa Milano thing? They're killing me.
Who?
I can't say.
What do you
who
mean
it
they're
is.
killing them?
You know, they were killing him. Like, I can't believe he's going on and on
Oh,
and
because
on.
it's great material.
All right, all right.
Who
Well,
was it?
thank you for sharing that. I think it was Muriel.
I
can't
thought they.
share.
Oh, Muriel. Though first of all, it's comedic malpractice to not make fun of an event like that.
It is.
I mean, come on.
I just
How
wanted
can
to
you
let you
not?
spew that out. I want to bring the ladies on. So let's do Life Hack. And when we do the Life Hack commercial, we'll bring out
And
the
I
ladies.
just spoke to Arthur. 21 live saved.
Life Hack.
Life hack.
And counting.
Please listen. This is a LifeVac. It's easy to use and can save a life in an airway emergency. LifeVac is proven to save lives, and it's as simple as place, push, pull. I've had one in my kitchen and one in my car for years, and you should have one in yours. Choking is a leading cause of death. 5,000 people a year die from choking, one child every 5 days, and it can happen in just 4 minutes. There's no time to wait. If you have children in your home, please consider your LifeVac today.
Matt's on? Okay.
Yes.
And we're back. Laughter Saves Lives Live. I had to change my mic. The ladies are here, Jules and Danielle. Can we say you're from Nursing Home Warriors? You have that freaking shirts. Beautiful.
One of us
Before we say an official hello to you, I just have a quick phone call I have to take. Hewlett Fire Department on Friday night is having a comedy night. And I said to them, what is the fundraiser for? And they said, John, we're raising money for the Laughter Saves Lives Foundation. Wonderful, wonderful thing. So we got to let him speak so we could get the money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, Matt, are you on the phone? Matty?
Matt hung up
Yes,
on you.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, brother. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
Good. Matt Nelson.
Yep.
I worked with Matty as a firefighter in Engine 3 Ladder 12. I was in Ladder 12. Matt was in Ladder 12. He was there when I got there. One of my mentors. Matty showed me.
Nice job, Matt. We'll talk later.
Matty showed me how to.
Sorry about that.
Matty showed me how to swing an axe and go out after work. He's a good man, and we both studied for tests. I ended up as a firefighter, and Matty is a chief at this point. So Matt did not study with me, obviously. Matt, what's going on with the big show on Friday night? Thank you.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's taken off. It was slow at first, but now it's really picking up. I think we got about 90 pre-sold tickets, and a lot of people are going to show up night of.
Beautiful. And we're going to invite, if you guys want to come Friday night to the Hewlett Fire Department show, we will take care of you at that show. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
take care
very
of you,
good.
but we will.
Yeah, they know where it is. They got the flyer. It's going to be a nice time.
It's going to be a good time, and I'm very impressed that you are doing this for Laughter Saves Lives. That was very nice of you to do that.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and it's the Hewlett Fire Department is donating a room, and we got a lot of guys donating food, beverages, so most of the money's going to go directly to charity. No administrative costs.
Very nice. Our latest, we have a firefighter in Florida who 30 years old had a stroke, passed away, 1-year-old child. His wife does not have any training for a good job right now, and supposedly they are taking away her medical benefits.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
Ridiculous.
So I spoke to one of his good friends. We are going to help out in some way. I also contacted the Silla Foundation. They're going to do something for him. So this is the kind of stuff we
contact
do.
the El Sasa Fund. That's actually for guys that were killed or died non-line of duty.
Yeah, but
That's
isn't
set
that
up
only for FDNY guys?
Yeah, El Sasa, Tommy El Sasa.
Yeah, this guy is not FDNY. This guy's from Florida.
No, I think it's citywide. It's countrywide. They help.
Well, I'll call them also because the amount of money we're having, and Matty, you helping us to raise a few bucks. We don't have a whole lot of money to make a huge difference in somebody's life right now. We're looking for major sponsors. We thank LifeVac for being one of our sponsors, MCM Duck Cleaning. But we're looking for some big sponsors so we can go into a town like that and say, brother, give us your mortgage for 6 months or your wife, and we'll take care of you. So thanks for doing that, Matt.
Hey, our pleasure.
So we will see you Friday night.
It sounds good. Hey, I was just asking, you guys were talking about the Mets game going there, man. I mean, you're as old as I am. I remember saving my mom and dad, saving the Dairy Lee tickets, cutting those little plastic tabs off, saving 4,000 of them, and sitting up in the nosebleeds. Whoever did that?
Hey,
I did.
and it was nothing better than the nosebleeds, man.
So, all right, guys, I'll let you go back to the show. Keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys all on Friday.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks,
Matt
man.
Nelson.
Who's on that
Bye-bye.
Who's on that show?
I was on a show.
We have John LaRocchia. We have Teddy Smith headlining.
Manny.
We have Manny. Tugboat Manny is MC now. And
Right, Manny.
Who else did I have on that show? You
You had Sheba Mason. you had-
Alexandra. Sheba's not going to be on the show. Alexandra's doing a spot. And you're on the show.
No, you put me on Williston Park. I'm running Williston Park for you.
Okay. Or Manny's MC.
Yeah.
All right, let's
I know
let's
what's
talk about the girls. Let's talk about the ladies here. Let's get them rolling here. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
We'd love to have you on. We've taken a while. Art recommended you from LifeVac. Art is here tonight. And I've been following you guys on Facebook. And I have to say, I'm impressed. As somebody, and I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. People, we do the St. Albans show, and people in nursing homes, we're going around every day having a ball, doing our thing, and these people are in these homes day in and day out. And for us to bring them a little bit of joy, a little bit of relief is important at St. Albans. When I was a 16-year-old, I told my mother I wanted to visit a nursing home, somebody that had no family, and just visit them. And I found this lady, Millie, with no legs, right near my firehouse over there in Maspeth. And I would bring her an egg roll every time I came. She just, and that was like I brought her $1 million. So I respect and I love what you guys do. You're a dietitian, a registered dietitian,
Yes.
and you're a RN.
Correct.
Okay, how did you guys hook up and start doing what you're doing?
Well, we met at work, actually.
And you never mentioned where you work on your little podcast.
We-
No, we
We
don't.
don't.
We don't do
Yeah,
that.
because I said,
We
how
don't
do
do
they
that.
get away with it? But they do
We don't
know
really
you
get
do
away
it.
with it. Well,
They do.
We don't really get away with it anymore, but
They do know that we do it.
Right.
By the way, you
so-
just got fired. I just want to tell you that.
thank you.
Thank you, John.
No, they're very honest. They're very, which is important. They advocate for these people in the nursing homes.
Right.
Go ahead, Danielle.
So we don't just advocate for the people in our nursing home, obviously. I mean,
Right.
that goes without say because we're there every day. So
Right.
we take care of them, but we also advocate for others. So by us teaching people how to advocate for themselves, we're hoping to change the culture of nursing homes.
Correct.
So it's safer. So people also contact us through Facebook or Messenger, or they pick up the phone and they call me and they ask me questions about what's going on for their loved one in that nursing home, wherever that may be.
And do you
So-
visit other nursing homes for families and advocate for them?
So I have my own company. Well, I had my own company. It didn't do so well because business-wise I kind of stink. But
It's tough to do both.
well, I'm just not good at business.
Yeah,
Like I'm
it's a
good at what
different-
I
That's
do.
like my wife,
I'm
too.
good at what I do, but I'm not
I
good
get
at
it.
anything else.
Because you're passionate and you care.
Right.
And my wife does breastfeeding, and she'll spend a half hour on the phone with somebody, solve their problem, and
have
not
no
make a
money.
dime.
That was
know?
exactly my problem. So yes, people will call me and I'll go to that nursing home and I will advocate for them, sit in their care plan meetings, speak to the administration, speak to the director of nursing, help them get to what the place they need to be.
But don't they have ombudsmen in most of those places?
They do have an ombudsman. The ombudsman comes in.
Hold
once-
on. Ombudsman.
It's an advocate for the residents' rights.
That's correct.
They're volunteers.
Thank you.
They're volunteers.
The
and They sit in
volunteers.
on resident council meetings.
They do.
Assisted livings and
They
stuff
do.
like that.
The resident, the ombudsman comes in generally like on a once-a-week basis. They are there more frequently when the facility is being surveyed. And what they will do is, yes, they are an advocate, and they will make rounds throughout the facility. They'll talk to residents, they'll talk to families. A lot of the families know who the ombudsman is, and if they see her or him, they generally will try to seek out their attention to let them know what's going on in the
Does the
facility.
how do you spell that?
Ombudsman.
Of course she
Ombudsman.
knows.
Okay, so the person,
Yes.
this person, when somebody's admitted, isn't this somebody that the families meet immediately?
No.
No, not
No,
at all.
they, there's a, in every facility they have a board where they post everything. You can have there'll be a number for anything you want to call.
Correct.
So the
Right.
ombudsman's number's on there.
So-
You can contact
If you
them.
weren't a chef in your lifetime, you would never use the word ombudsman.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I'm a.
So what's different between
Hold on one
Hang on.
second. Ryan, can you hear Jules? Okay,
Yes.
just speak up a little more.
Sure.
When you say you teach people to advocate for themselves, like that's if they're capable to do it, right? And you know, I'm
Right,
sure
or it's
some
their
people-
family. So the families are the ones who usually contact us. It's usually not the resident. But the difference between what we do and what an ombudsman does is that we can go into the medical records. So what they'll do is sign a HIPAA form saying that they give me permission to look at the medical records. And at that point is when I'm able to look at the accountability, the medications, the lab results, who did what, when they did it, which is a lot different than what an ombudsman does. So people will hire us privately to advocate, but not only advocate, but actually research what's going on in the nursing home. And you know, with that permission, we can show up at any time. You know, we can come I've gone into nursing homes at midnight. I've gone into nursing homes at 5 a.m. just to see what's going on for the people that I care for.
There's a lot of things happening out east. Those people got all arrested. With
Oh, the one who died?
yeah.
Yes.
That was in another
You guys
facility.
don't do talk like in the libraries, talks on what about nursing homes and what people can do, because a lot of people do have relatives
Correct.
that are in nursing homes, and I think people would be interested in that type of thing.
Well, there's one listener who follows both of us, and she has, through Messenger, had asked if we would, come to her senior center and address the group that's there. So we actually have a date with this woman in July. And we will talk to her. She'll bring to our attention some of the topics that her community has been interested in, and then she'll invite us back so that we can speak to those people directly.
Now, if you see something wrong when you go down there and stuff, what's your next move? What do you do after that?
Well, we can address it with the powers that be at that facility, but we would prefer
Do
to.
people give you an attitude? What I'm trying to say.
Always.
Like if you went
Oh,
there,
I think it would
if
be-
you
Are
went
you
there
kidding
and
me?
somebody said, "Who are you?"
Let me just tell you right
Yeah,
now
yeah.
that I think people run like roaches when I walk into the building.
Yeah,
They
you're like the
scatter.
state. You're like the state.
I am worse than the state
No, but I'm
because
saying
I
when
am
people-
I am
when-
like a
when-
tiger.
Yeah.
They flee. When I walk into a nursing home and they know who I am, they run. But once you sit down and you speak to the Jules and I always say you have to know who you're talking to in a nursing home, right? You can't just walk into a nursing home and talk to just respect to the nurses, but you can't
Right,
talk to
right.
the nurse on the unit and tell her what's wrong. You really got to make sure if it's a serious problem that you're going to the administrator or the director of nursing.
Sure.
The administrator, his license is on the wall. He's the one who's in charge of the building. So usually I'll have a conversation and we'll meet the administrator at first, sit down, have a conversation, let him know that I'm there to help him because I'm not the Department of Health. I don't want anything bad to happen.
Yeah, of course. You're there to protect the resident.
I'm here to protect the resident, and unfortunately, the resident doesn't always know their rights. They don't know what they're
Right.
allowed to have and what they're not allowed to have. So I'm there just to educate the resident and to hopefully make a bridge between administration and the resident's family. So I'm there to help, even though it's not always perceived that way.
So do you address everything from like
Anything.
I'm going to use an example like dietary issues because like let's say a particular chef in a home or an assisted living
Constantly fed them meatballs.
is using too much garlic in everything, and he's giving the residents indigestion all the time, and they can't vocalize that. What do you do? Do you address that, chef?
I address
Will you
everything.
go into that kitchen and go, buddy, tone it down a little bit?
100% I will go in that kitchen and tell them to tone it down.
I bet.
But,
There's no problem.
we talk
There's
to,
no
like,
problems in my kitchen. You can go online. You can look at anything. There's no problem.
put
in
your
my
hand net on.
we
Who cares?
address things as small as maybe you're in a resident's room and you see that it's dirty behind the dresser because the housekeeper never moved the dresser. He cleans around it.
Right.
Like then I'll go to the department head of housekeeping. But then we also address things that are a little bit more serious and more clinical, like someone has a pressure ulcer that's developed,
Which
a
is
bed
what
sore.
we talked
We
about
spoke
yesterday.
about this the other day.
Right.
Yeah, so that,
So they come in with nothing on their skin, and then somehow they end up with a wound on their sacrum this big.
does part of this have to do with the staffing issues, though, that they're understaffed, a lot of these places?
Jules might want to answer that because she
Well-
won't like my answer.
Because I know my wife is overwhelmed right now at the hospital.
I know the hospitals
Jules
are
a little more
understaffed.
diplomatic, maybe.
Jules
Yeah.
is way more diplomatic,
All right.
and she also gave me a talk before we came over here
Okay.
about how I had to behave.
Okay.
So I'm
Wow.
trying to behave.
You're doing well.
Thank
In
you.
terms of
We're waiting,
staffing,
we're waiting.
no, in terms of staffing, I always say it's not necessarily the quantity of staff, but it's the quality of
Oh,
staff.
absolutely.
Because you could have the place filled with people from, head to toe,
Right.
and left, but if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, then quantity means nothing. And I've worked in a facility where we had lots of staff, but the quality wasn't necessarily there. So yes, staffing does come into place, but we want to make sure that the staff that we hire and employ are quality staff, people who are going to carry out the mission of the facility. Because
People are
if-
going to care.
Yeah, but you
Well,
know,
Did you ever
that's
meet
you know what I
exactly-
find in most facilities? I'm sorry, John.
Yeah.
No,
Is,
no, just you,
even
but-
when you're in the hospital, even when you're in the hospital, like my mother's not. I noticed the day crew, the day shift, is always on their game.
I wonder
And then the
why.
night shift comes around, and there's people walking
That's 'cause
around.
Well,
The eyes are on
and,
it,
it's like,
Exactly.
there's nobody when the boss is away.
Jules has a story about what she did as a director of nursing.
I was a director of nursing in a facility for a very short period of time because my creed is that if I can't put a loved one in the place that I'm working,
Yep.
then I can't work there.
Right, good.
And in this one particular place,
But they need you there more than the other
I agree.
facilities.
See, that's how
You know what I mean?
I
I
know.
agree with you.
I know
I-
it must be exhausting
I agree.
and
It's-
stressful.
it's-
also.
But you don't want to
It's
put
tough.
her name on that.
I understand that, but I'm saying in facilities, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
but
no.
My wife's mother was in Holly Patterson for years. She got hit by a
Okay.
truck.
Oh.
My wife was 10 years old. For years and years, my wife went to that place, and I could see her change on the ride there. And that was a tough place. I don't know what it's like now. That
I
was a
ha-
tough place.
I heard it has tremendously improved.
Thank
So
God.
positive.
So go ahead, Jules. I'm
No.
sorry.
So while I was the director of nursing in this facility, I would come in on the night shift, and I didn't tell anybody I was coming in.
Right.
So I would come in, I would go up through a stairwell where nobody would even bother to look, and I would just appear on the unit. And when people saw me walk on the unit, it was all of a sudden everybody froze. And people, as Danielle mentioned before, people would run like roaches because they didn't, all of a sudden everybody was busy doing what they needed to do. So I would walk in and out of every resident's room. I would let the staff know why I was there because they would say, "You're here now?" And I'd say, "I'm here now because it's my responsibility to make rounds. I need to know what's going on in the building that I'm in
Did
charge
you
of."
like look at some charts?
I didn't necessarily look at charts. I was more interested in looking at people and looking at the work
Right.
operations of the staff. And I happened to walk into a dining room area, which served also as a recreation area. And when I walked in there, I saw this gentleman sound asleep in a chair. He was an employee
I was
of
going
the
to say, was
facility.
he a resident or an employee?
No, he was an employee. So I sat next to him.
Oh.
While he was sleeping?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Did you tap him at one point?
Oh, no, I just
To see.
Oh.
sit there like this.
So anyway, all right. I know-
Eventually, he woke up.
And he woke
Oh
up.
my
what-
God.
Eventually, he woke
Had
up
to
and
change his
and-
underwear.
and all of
You
a
know, I'm
sudden,
getting flashbacks
Kill
to like
yourself
my
if you
teachers
wake
in
up
high
and she's
school.
next to you.
You know, when I'd fall asleep in class and they wake up and they're like,
yeah.
"You feel better?"
Well, that's
You're like,
exactly
"Yeah,
how
yeah,
it was.
yeah, yeah."
So I would
Oh.
just sit there and watch. And eventually, this gentleman woke up, and he looked at me, and I said, "Hi." You know, what was I going to say?
Yeah.
And I just very nicely said, "Are you on your break?" Because some people are
Right,
on their
right.
break, and they will go into a room where
Right.
there's nobody. And he didn't know how to answer me, which led me to believe
That
he
he
was
wasn't,
not on
right.
his break. So I said, "You know what? You and I will have a conversation on Monday," because this was a Friday night.
Right.
Well, you ruined his weekend, by the way.
Well, that's okay, but he still had a
I
job.
know, I know.
He still had a job.
Not a job, but
Because
hopefully you
on
never did that
Monday-
again.
No, because you know what? I would go in again.
Right.
Maybe not the following week, but I would go in maybe
Well,
the week
that's
after.
what you call random checks. Just like
Random
they
checks,
do,
and you have to
right.
do
you know,
that.
security and stuff. Is
You
Ju-
have to
we don't
do
know
that.
if Jules is coming in tonight.
You
We better
don't,
be on
so
our
we
game.
better be on
Good
on
girl.
our
So
best
I was
behavior.
thinking, like what she said. Hold on, Danielle and
Jules.
Oh, I
Danielle and
love that
Jules.
you almost didn't remember her name right now.
Almost.
I love that.
No,
We're
no,
a bunch
no,
of chooches.
I love that.
We're a bunch of choochy guys.
I don't know such a
He'll
good
forget
word.
his act, but he won't forget names.
I got it in the head too many times. But you know what you said about like cleaning behind the dresser, right? That may seem cosmetic, but it's really not
No,
because
it's not cosmetic.
these are breathing issues.
That's
Yeah,
And it
correct.
says a lot
and
about-
there's also mice, right?
Yeah.
Right,
And
yes,
roaches.
right,
So it's
right.
not just about it being looking pretty.
good,
It's
right.
about
No,
the
it's-
cleanliness of the environment.
The environment
Yeah,
is
so-
very
You know,
important.
Wait, hold on.
Sure.
I may have stuck my foot in my mouth even more here, but I watched Danielle online and about, you know, they had Nurses Week, and I said, oh, I love the nurses, and she was like, what about the dietitians? You know, so I said, well, let's bring some fruit in to represent the dietitian. But that's
That's
not
why
good.
I had to bring in the
Yes,
fruit.
but that's probably not a good thing, right? You're gonna chew me out for bringing the fruit in because we have ambulances, we have fire trucks, we have a police guy. I said, let's bring some fruit in for
I think-
Danielle.
Thank you for that. No,
That's
I
the
very
thought was
clever.
there.
No, I appreciate it.
Tell us what a RD, a registered dietitian.
I love that.
Wait,
does.
before you get to that, I want to just ask
Oh.
a question. So, because we were talking about the stuff, what you guys do. How long you guys been doing this for?
Okay, I met
No, I mean
Danielle.
the Warriors.
the two-
Oh, yeah.
I met her 7 months ago.
Okay. So,
And it was random because I was coming into work one day and it was a winter's day.
She was sleeping in the.
so in all the time,
worked,
I'm just
that
trying to get it so John can get his question in, but I'm just saying. So in all the time, no, I feel bad. So all the time that you guys have been doing it, what is your biggest take on it? What can nursing homes do to improve? So you said all the things you went out there. What do you, from you guys going out there and looking at everything, what can you do to improve these
Well,
facilities?
I would think having somebody like you in charge of a nursing home is a step in the right
Yeah.
Well,
direction.
you have a lot of good people.
Oh,
We're
there
starting
are.
to bet. There's a lot of good
There
nurses
are.
out
Oh,
there.
yes. No,
There's a
you're
lot
right.
of good employees out
You're
there.
right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But there has to, you can't knock everybody. There's people
No,
out there
no.
that really love
No,
what
you're
they're
right.
doing.
And they do
They're right.
care.
But
And they
the
do
people
care.
that don't love what
And
they're
they do
doing is
care.
what's ruining it for everybody.
Exactly. So, but I'm saying, in your, because there are good people
Yeah.
out
No,
there.
there are.
there's
And there are
great
good-
nurses. I
and
mean,
there are good
we got to be
facilities
thankful
out
for our
there.
nurses. They're all great
Hey,
nurses.
we
out
have
there.
that on every job. Steve
But-
and I were firefighters, and everybody respects and thinks, oh, you got some firefighters who were dogs who really didn't.
You're gonna
Am I
have it-
right?
you're gonna have it in
That
everything.
Just
Sure.
went through the motions. You have it on every job.
You're going to have it in everything. I mean,
Did I
I
say
had,
something wrong there? Do you agree with me?
I agree.
all right.
Those are the guys you
Thought
let.
you were leaving me out there to hang for
Those are the guys you let chop onions and
So what is your big take on you going out there
Minimum.
and doing
Well,
this?
you want to know something? We're trying to give the families power so that they can advocate for their loved ones.
So has anybody
Many-
thanked you for this?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, the fact that they're on Facebook, they're reaching a lot more people than if they would go to the library and speak.
I was going to say that also with the Library and Speak, that might not be the people that we want to talk to because those people, I want our generation, right? And we're usually at work because we're the ones who are going to be taking care of our family
Talk to
members.
the library at night.
Do you go to the library at night?
You don't
I
even know how to
do.
read.
Exactly.
I bring the baby I bring my grandson to the library.
I go to the
During the
I
library.
play with the
During the
twonks.
day you do that.
I play with the twonks,
Right.
and you know.
did until the cops stopped them
I
because
go
it
to
was
the
getting a little
library
weird.
at night.
I can't.
By the way, the name Warriors
That's
denotes
that's her. That's
that's
all
strength.
her. That's
you.
all her.
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, it was my girlfriend who called me a warrior one day.
We
and
have
that
a
was it.
caller for them. Is it a caller for them, Pat? Is it?
didn't say.
Is there? Do we have the ability to ask them that question?
Screen
Because I don't want somebody
Screen it,
interrupting
Pat.
them
Screen
if
it.
it's not for them.
Screen
You
it.
know what I mean?
All right.
Can we ask that? Thanks, Pat.
No, but going
It's-
back to
I hope it's not the
Warriors.
guy was sleeping.
Going back to my question, what
He
is
won't
the
even
biggest
know
all-
it. He won't even
that
know
would
it's him.
improve?
The biggest thing I feel is that the community, the people who are not in the nursing home, learn about the nursing home and learn the questions to ask. And I say this all the time, is when you walk in and you see a family member there, you don't say, hi, how is my mom today? That's not the right question. That's a horrible question because they're going to say, great, and you're going to keep moving. I want them to ask the specific questions. Did they poop today? Did they eat? Did they get changed? Did they walk?
I ask Pat those questions all the time.
Because those are the questions that are going to have people
Now, who are
answer
you
them.
asking these questions
You're
to?
going to ask that to the nurse or the nurse's aide.
Okay.
But
Right.
that's how you're going to start the conversation.
Okay.
So making the people who visit the family members at the nursing home more aware of what they should be asking is going to lead to better care for the
Right.
residents.
See, that's-
Are they allowed to look at the chart? Is
If
the
they-
family allowed
Yes.
to?
Yeah, but they're
'Cause
not going to know how to read it. I mean, the truth is, we're on the computer. They're like
Everything's- you're right,
It's
everything's
not
on
like
the
I'm giving
computer.
them a book and they're going to open it. It's
But I'm saying
No, but
is
even
it-
if we did have a book,
Right.
there should be someone from the facility who is clinical to be there with them.
Right.
Because they don't know what exactly they're looking for.
'Cause that's what's
and we
documented, what's
can
really
point it
happened. I'm
out
not
and
saying
then we
the
can
nurses
no,
would
that's
explain
not
it.
what really happens.
You have to be your own advocate,
should
in
be,
other
but
words.
it's
That's
not
You
what
do have
they're
to be
saying.
your own
That
advocate.
is not what happens.
And
right.
part of our mission as nursing home warriors, and I give Danielle that credit, is
Thanks.
that it's our goal, it's our mission to empower and educate families of their loved ones who might be seeking long-term care in the future or who have someone in long-term care right now. It's asking the right questions. It's what to look for, I always think of the 5 senses: what to look for, what to smell, what to hear, looking at, how people are touching each other. That to me says a lot. So when someone's walking in, just the interaction that the staff is having with the residents in the facility tells you a lot
like nonverbal
about the mission and the
things.
culture of the
It's
facility.
100%.
Let's take this call.
Oh, okay.
Call Laughter Stage Live.
Yeah, this is Anthony Soprano. Listen, I'm looking for a nursing home for my mother. It's got to be a place that's open, airy, friendly, and the FBI can't wiretap. Do you guys know a place?
Thank you, Anthony. Do
funny,
you ladies need
What
to
the
answer
frick?
that question? Thank you, Anthony. Can we hang up on Anthony? Thank you, Anthony.
He's mic'd up.
He's mic'd up too. Well, good question from Anthony, but we'll move.
Let's
we'll
move
Do you
forward.
want to answer that question
No,
or no?
no.
No. Okay.
Is what you do kind of novel in the sense that it
I
wasn't
haven't
done
seen
before?
anybody
Right.
doing it.
So no. So it has not been done before. So what happened was about.
You can find a sponsor.
Will you be my sponsor?
Well, I don't have the money, Danielle, but you can find somebody.
Be
who
my
had
sponsor.
Listen to me. What we're fighting for, and we're making progress, because we're a 501c3. You can start a foundation, and I don't want to say I'm sure. There are people out there who've had people in nursing homes, young people. I want to say, all right, you're younger than me.
But there are younger people coming into the facilities now too.
And that too. But what I'm saying is there's somebody out there with a lot of money who's gone through a horrible experience at one point.
And wants to do this.
And not only you two, but you can get other people to work with you. And the Facebook thing is awesome because a lot of people can see that. And I will continue to share it.
Thank you.
And I'm going to ask these guys to do the same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because like I said, my mother-in-law went through hell in a facility. We do the St. Albans show.
My father did too. My father did.
Yeah. And we do the St. Albans show, and some of those guys get no visitors. Where we go in once a month, and we wheel people down to the show who have no response. They don't open their eyes, and talk to them the whole way down. And I'm hoping that something that we said inside made them laugh.
Well,
or
you know
chuckle.
what? They do
Probably
say
did.
that hearing is the last sense
Yes.
to go. So even though they may
Yes.
not have responded to you verbally, I'm sure that they took in what you did say.
And
Now, I don't mean to change. Now,
Go ahead.
what made you get into? Did you have somebody that had a
good
family member?
question.
A family
So
member that.
I started in nursing homes when I was 17.
so you saw it live.
So once I got in the nursing homes, I never wanted to leave. And what I found was through many different facilities, I started as a dietary aide, and then I became the chief clinical dietitian and whatever. What I saw was just stuff that I couldn't change that was so upsetting to me. I saw people with the pressure ulcers, people not getting the right medications. I was having arguments with nurses. It was really just not pretty. I had my son, and then after my son, I realized I was going to go back to work, but I wanted to do something.
How old is your son? Oh,
He's 15.
Because I could figure out your age if the way
I'm
you
48.
did that.
48.
All
I'm
right.
proud of it. You don't care.
I don't
I'm
care.
just saying. I once you gave me the, I could. All right.
So what I realized is that
That's a classy.
the
it
department-
was a classy
Very
approach.
classy.
the
No,
Department
I
of
didn't
Health.
do it on purpose. After I asked the question, I said, "Well, now I can figure out how old she is." I was a little embarrassed about the question.
Paula, if you're watching, this is what happens when we're out on the road too, Paula.
Paula, how old are you? Good.
I forgot what I was saying.
See, I screwed. You had 15.
Oh, right,
got
right,
you
right,
into
right,
it.
right. So what I saw was that the people just didn't have the answers. So people started contacting me just because they knew I was in the nursing home business. And then I was like, wow, this could really be something great. So I started this company, and it really could have been something great if I wasn't such a mess up with business. But there's just a need for it. And again, it's about keeping the residents safe from abuse and neglect. And the only way to keep them safe from abuse and neglect is to educate everybody around so that they know the signs of what
And
the warning signs.
isn't that wonderful when you can do that? I worked in an emergency room as a young man.
What is he saying?
When I had more hair, you made fun of my hair when you walked in. She said, "John, where's all your?" I thought your hair was poofier.
Well, I saw you you were on Facebook
because
this
I
morning.
roll it
You were
up,
cooking. You were
I
cooking.
don't-
It was poofy.
You finally washed it.
It was
Yeah.
poofy today.
When I roll out of bed, I go on my. I have no
John,
no class.
she'll talk to you more in 10 years when you're in one of her facilities.
Wait a minute. So what I was saying is,
Yes.
what really upset me when I worked in an emergency room when I was in college, and I was a transporter. I'd get the blood gases. I'd run them to the lab. I'd push some. That's mostly what I did. But I've seen people come from nursing homes into the ER and lay in that corner for hours.
They're the forgotten people.
4 hours, no family to advocate. They would, and it killed me. And I was a young kid. I didn't know. I wasn't strong enough to go, hey, what's going on? You know, I had a little job. But it
Right.
killed me to think that could be my family or me one day. You know?
The hospitals, to me, they're even more worse than the nursing home in a lot of ways. A lot of staph infection and C. diff and
You see a lot of that
people
going
putting in
on.
rooms with people
We
with
have that
C.
in
diff that
nursing
don't
homes, too.
belong in it.
That happens
I've had
in
my
nursing
mother
homes,
in a
too.
room with somebody with C. diff. I had to get her out of there.
Every now and then you see a video
crazy.
too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I post videos on my Facebook
Like,
page whenever people send them to me.
What do you,
Abuse.
someone puts a, yes.
Yeah, when they're throwing them around or hitting them or
Yeah.
hurting them.
Those
Patty
are the ones
G.
you see. Not saying
Some companions do that too.
Of course.
Patty
Home health
G.
And
aides.
that's sad.
Caller
And that's sad.
who was saying he was a security officer at a nursing home as part of his occupation years ago. We wanted to talk to them. You want to take the call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
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 His name is Steve.
We're talking to Patty G off camera. Patty G is helping produce the show tonight.
We try to
Does a
keep him off
wonderful
camera.
job.
We try to keep him
We're
off
going to
camera.
give him a banana.
He's our runner.
Gonna give him a banana. Laughter Saves Lives live. You on the air? Oh, Patty's back there.
Steve, okay?
All right, Steve.
Hello, Steve. Are you there, Steve?
How you doing, guys?
How you doing?
Ladies?
Hi.
Hey, Steve. How are you? Have a question for the ladies?
Actually, it's more of a, I can agree with them as far as the inspection goes. I used to work as security, I used to be a security officer at a nursing home multiple years ago here in Jersey, and by the way, I'm a volunteer fireman.
Thank you.
The way I look at it is when you're dealing with, like, inspections and such, especially when you have a supervisor that comes in at night, they pretty much come up to the security and just say, hey, look, we're here to do inspections, don't say nothing. Which, to me, I actually kind of like to see something like that when it comes down to supervisors on the job. And not for nothing, that really is reassuring to see that because, I mean, not for nothing, if I happen to have had a family member that was in a nursing home, I would like a supervisor to definitely check in
I
on,
agree.
you know, my folks that are, you know, there, you know, at, if they were ever there. But, you know,
No, it's very important, Steve.
it's really reassuring to see that, though. And I gotta say, you ladies are definitely doing a great job on that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for taking the time to call in, buddy.
Thank you.
No worries. Have a great day. Be
surprised.
safe.
All right.
Thanks, brother.
But what he brings up, visibility and observation, is very important. In many of my roles, being either the director or I've been an assistant director for numerous years, it would be me and my partner who would be the director of nursing, and we'd agree. We'd go out to dinner, and then we'd say, okay, what time are we going back? And then we would pop in, and we usually popped in at change of shift, where the evening shift transformed into the night shift, and again, nobody knew that we were coming. And the stuff that we would see, all of a sudden, things started
Yeah,
to
and
get
it-
rolling.
But
It's-
people knowing that,
Yeah.
not saying everyone, but the ones who have to be addressed, it keeps them on their toes.
It
Yes.
does. It
No,
does.
And I think the other
It
ones who
does.
are doing their job like
They
that
like
because
it.
they're
They
they're
like it.
pulling their weight.
Right.
You know, because they care.
No, it's
They
true.
care.
Yeah.
Can you
And-
pop in here next week when this show's going
Yeah.
downhill and just,
Yeah, make sure
know
John,
what I mean?
make sure John's not wearing his Met gear. Or
yeah, you know, when
Laughter
things-
Saves Lives. A Laughter
Pop
Saves
in.
Lives shirt.
Pat's sleeping, you gotta, sit there like this.
Pat actually falls asleep sometimes during the show, but it's
Yeah.
usually when Patty G's doing his segment, right?
Well, you know, he likes to meditate.
You wrote something in here that we haven't addressed yet, Miss. In your bio, I asked you guys to send me bios, and you were very
scared.
hesitant. Somebody, it says in here, went to jail. Was that Jules or Danielle?
Not me.
Hey, listen, audience, if
That doesn't make you a bad
Street
person.
cred.
No,
You got
it does
street
not.
cred now.
It doesn't make
Actually,
you a bad person, but
so
no.
tell us about that, Danielle. Why
It
did you go to
was a
jail?
long time ago, but
Yeah, that's what they always say in the
no,
show.
it was. I was
a
in
long time ago, John.
I was in Brooklyn. I was
Yep.
working in a nursing home, and
Okay.
I was in charge of the dietary department. And I would go on the floors at 5 in the morning and see what was going on, who came back from the hospital, have to tell the kitchen. It wasn't 20 years ago, there was no computer, right? So I had to pick up the phone and call people and say, this so-and-so's back from the hospital,
Let's feed 'em.
send them the tray. And I saw a LPN, a licensed practitioner nurse.
Licensed practical nurse.
Yeah, that
Licensed
one.
practical nurse.
Yeah.
Right.
Before an RN, right?
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily anymore.
Well, you could do it. It's different path. It's a different path.
It's a different path.
Yeah.
Actually, take a narcotic and give it to herself.
I would think there's something wrong with that.
I would
There
say
is.
that too. So you know.
I picked that up.
So I went and I told the administrator, who obviously believed me. We had her come down, and the union made a big deal. It's her word against this girl's word. This woman's worked here so long. How do you not believe her? Unfortunately, the resident wasn't able to speak, so it wasn't able.
Couldn't write or anything.
You could she's in pain because she moans, but she's not going to be able to say I didn't get my
What was
medicine.
the medication for?
It was a pain medication.
Pain medication. Are they paying attention?
No. What I'm saying is that if the woman was in a lot of pain, isn't it obvious she's not getting a pain med?
By the time this happened, though, this is already. By the time this got down to administration, this was 5 in the morning.
Right.
This is already way into the afternoon, so that time has passed.
Right.
So then, a couple of weeks later, I went on the floor and I watched her tell a resident that she wasn't going to help them, and that they had to go to the bathroom in their pants. This was a 40-year-old stroke victim. So again, Danielle, big mouth, runs downstairs. I'm like, I said, this is disgusting.
It's not a big mouth. If you have a...
I agree.
God bless you.
I agree.
It's
Yeah.
not a big mouth. You're
Okay.
brave. You're strong.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, I get a phone call about, I don't know, 2 weeks later, and it was the 6-9 precinct. They're like, you Danielle Pagalatis. I'm like, yeah, they go, we're going to have to come down and arrest you.
For?
I said, I'm busy right now. Can I just come down to you at like 5 o'clock? And they said, sure. Because apparently this nurse, she said I broke her jaw. I never hit her, obviously.
Did she have a broken jaw?
She did, actually, but what
Hold
happened?
on, folks listening. Just turn the volume down.
I didn't do it. But
Did
if
you
I
pop
knew
up?
I was going to get arrested for it, I might have
as
thought
well
about
done
it.
Yeah.
But obviously, it all got thrown out
That's
because it all got thrown out. But that was it was a
you could
difficult
prove
time.
that
That's
you
scary.
It was all being able to prove, but the whole thing started with the fact that I saw her do 2 things that were neglect and abuse to a resident, and
Yeah.
she didn't like it. So,
So she made something up.
oh, she made it up, but yeah.
And it's like a revenge thing or whatever.
Right.
You call it, arrested.
No,
I
the
thought-
nurse did not get arrested. She did not get
I
arrested.
thought you were going to say they framed you for taking the knocks out of there, They could do
They
that
could
too.
have.
Anything
You
is
know what? You
possible.
don't.
If they're not counted for, they could pull it
Right.
on the side.
I mean,
That's
the good
right.
news now is that there's cameras everywhere. Back then, there were not cameras down every hallway.
Right.
Now, every hallway has a camera, so you can
have-
really see what goes
We
on.
have 1 minute, guys. Laughter Saves Lives, Williston Park, and
I'll be
Euclid
there.
this
I'll
weekend,
be
Friday
hosting that.
night. If you need tickets, contact me. MCM Duck Cleaning. Use Matt. We forgot to put his flyer up. We got carried away with the ladies. Wonderful. They do wonderful work. Clean the ducks. They're also sterilizing ambulances now. Give Maddie a call. The commercial should be ready any day.
By Christmas, right?
By Christmas. You guys, in 30 seconds, are you going to do anything new, anything different to get the message out? Do you have anything planned? You're just going to continue
We're
what you're
gonna
doing, which
continue
is
what we're doing.
wonderful.
And hopefully someone will hear this and want to sponsor us, and we can make this even bigger and better for everybody out there.
Yeah.
Just hopefully you don't get arrested again.
But Jules,
No.
why do we do any of this, Jules?
Why do we do this? Because we do this for you. We do this for your loved one. We do this for everybody who's in a long-term care facility.
It's awesome.
We're there for you. And if we can impart information that helps you with decision making, then we've done our
How
job.
can they contact you guys?
They can get us through Facebook. They can send us a message through Facebook.
Can we give out Danielle's phone number?
Not so much.
She may want it.
Not so much.
But we
police
also
already have it.
we also have a nursing home warriors
Do we have a picture of
Facebook
your
page
mugshot
also.
that we can put-
Hey,
cute. I was
let's thank
26.
Patty
That was
G
cute.
for being off camera and helping back. That's not.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it. So we'll see you next week on Laughter Saves Lives Live. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to the Massapequa Diner, guys. Good night, everybody.
Thanks to our guests.
Yes.
Nursing home warriors.
Leather gloves, we slap them in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the beer, that circle the lips. Play ball. Play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball. Take off the caps. Time for the song.